This is Inside Indiana Business Radio for Tuesday, January 28th, 2025. I'm Marek Mazurek. Indiana's unemployment rate rose 0.1% to 4.5% in December. Despite the increase, the Indiana Department of Workforce Development said Tuesday that the state added 2,100 private sector jobs last month. Indiana's unemployment rate has risen at least 0.1% every month since last April, with the exception of November, where it stayed flat. Indiana primarily saw job gains in the private education and health services, professional and business services, and financial activity sectors. The state's labor force participation rate rose slightly to 63.5%, which is a tick higher than the national rate. The DWD said the state had over 84,000 open job postings as of December 27th, while more than 24,000 continued unemployment insurance claims that week. Organization leaders in the Evansville region searching for a unique team-building experience will find what they're looking for at Cary Springs Farm in Warwick County. The Elberfeld operation offers professional development and leadership training that includes equine-assisted learning. Kathy Carey, founder at CSF Team Dynamics and Leadership Coaching, told Inside Indiana Business that interacting with horses allows group members to collaborate in a memorable way.
It's all about communication and learning how to communicate better. You learn about yourself, you learn about others, and then you use that information to build better communication.
Carey is an economics professor at the University of Southern Indiana, but she grew up loving horses. She said she was gifted a horse and that turned into more barn space and more horses until she eventually came up with the idea for her business. From the number one source for Indiana business news, this is Inside Indiana Business Radio.
To succeed, you need to stay informed. You need to be engaged. And let's face it, you need to set yourself apart from the rest by connecting with a company that brings you the best. Because in today's environment, business is an ever-moving target, and we'll help you chase it. IBJ Media. The best of business is in us. Get started at ibjmedia.com/youngprofessional.
Ground has been broken on a new medical office and surgical facility at River Ridge Commerce Center in Jeffersonville. The facility will be owned by CGKY Real Estate Holdings and will be part of the Gateway Office Park being developed by Louisville-based Hollenbach Oakley. Developers declined to disclose the financial cost of the project to Inside Indiana Business. The 32,000 square foot building will include more than 11,000 square feet for landmark surgical suites, which will have an orthopedic-focused surgery center with 3 operating rooms. An additional 6,000 square feet will be allocated for a Louisville Hip and Knee Institute office and clinic, with the remaining space being made available for lease on the first and second floors. Construction is expected to be complete this fall. Cash-strapped local governments could soon pick from a broader menu of ways to self-fund transportation infrastructure, including through contentious delivery fees or township surplus funds, but wouldn't get any more financial aid delivery directly from the State House. The wide-ranging House Bill 1461 also changes allocations and adds requirements for the popular Community Crossings Matching Grant Program. It cracks down on economic development incentives and brushes some dust off long, untouched tolling possibilities. The bill's author, Representative Jim Pressel, called his proposal, quote, 37 pages of options, end quote. Hoosiers could see new fees tacked onto their Amazon, DoorDash, and other delivery orders. Pressel's legislation would empower counties to impose fees of between 50 cents and $1 per retail delivery. Business advocates opposed the fee, saying it would hurt family restaurants and other small businesses. Others say delivery fees would disproportionately hurt elderly and disabled people. The legislation additionally would let communities tap into surplus money held by townships. If a township's reserves at the end of the year are more than 15% higher than its estimated budget for the next year, the excess money would go to a township transportation infrastructure fund. Pete Yonkman, president of Cook Group and Cook Medical, sees initiatives like the new Indiana University IU Launch Accelerator for Biosciences, or IU Lab, as a key to helping Hoosier healthcare companies stay on the cutting edge. Yonkman was among the speakers Monday at the official launch of IU Lab, which will be based at the 16 Tech Innovation District. In December, IU announced it had received $138 million from the Lilly Endowment to fund a 6th-floor, 150,000 square foot facility expected to open in 2027. Yonkman joined IU President Pamela Whitten, Governor Mike Braun, and others in lauding the potential of IU Lab to strengthen Indiana's life sciences sector. Get ready to rumble. WWE Vice President Chris Legentil and Indiana Sports Corps President Patrick Talty are this week's guests on the Business and Beyond podcast with Gary Dick, presented by PNC. A weekly conversation with high-profile Hoosiers in business, sports, entertainment, and beyond. Available now from your favorite podcast provider. I'm Marek Mazurek for Inside Indiana Business Radio on Demand.